An epidemic of coincidences continues. I'm Kristi Leigh, and I'll show you just how deadly cause unknown is becoming, plus how Florida Governor Ron Desantis is responding to this new epidemic. And the double standards just got even more brazen when it comes to Biden's alleged mishandling of classified documents. Speaking of Biden, hear why Hunter Biden is Dad of the Year. Starting today with the uptick of young doctors, mothers, and athletes who are dying from unknown causes. Western Journal has covered this extensively, while supposed mainstream media seems largely uninterested. A 25-year-old doctor died last month, leaving the family shocked. Dr. Lindsay Ann Heck of Pennsylvania was a recent pharmacy school graduate when she unexpectedly died. An update to the GoFundMe set up to help pay for her funeral expenses now says Lindsay's father has passed away from a cardiac arrest. And a woman with no history of heart issues also suddenly dies in Las Vegas. 46-year-old Alicia Groblinghoff went into cardiac arrest while working out at a gym, according to KLAS-TV. The mother of two died the next day. Her friend says she was super healthy and doesn't know what caused the cardiac arrest. And in light of all the reports of young athletes dying, a well-known sportscaster is demanding answers. Clay Travis says in the 20 years he's covered sports, he's never seen anything like this.
We need deep dive investigations into whether the COVID shot is leading to more deaths of young, otherwise healthy people. And I keep seeing stories. These are anecdotal. I'm not claiming otherwise. But whether it's Damar Hamlin or whether it is what happened at Air Force, which I am sick about when I read these as a dad, as a father, it is hard for me to read these stories. But I want to share the latest with you. An Air Force offensive lineman named Hunter Brown collapsed and died walking to class on Monday. Why are all those sports media who ran around like crazy saying, hey, if we play in 2020, athletes and coaches are going to die, which didn't happen, right? Data doesn't reflect that at all. Why are they not asking more questions now that we are seeing so many otherwise young and healthy athletes drop?
Now, since evidence is lacking that any COVID response measures have prevented deaths, Florida Governor Ron Desantis is now blocking COVID mandates. He says he's seeking to make permanent the state's pioneering protections against COVID mask and vaccine mandates and will back physicians' free speech, according to Epic Times. Desantis says under his new legislation, there will be workplace protections because no one should have to choose between a job they need and a shot they don't want. A mother who says she was injured because of the vaccine mandate was featured. A doctor who spoke says Desantis will protect the free speech of physicians because, quote, yesterday's medical misinformation is today's medical facts. Just the News reports that two peer-reviewed German studies have found that mRNA vaccines, the vast majority of the U.S. market, induce worse antibodies compared to traditional adenovirus vaccines. The findings call into question the government's promotion of bivalent boosting, even while regulators admit that newer COVID variants are evading vaccines. While Desantis has been critical of the jabs, former President Trump has long defended Operation Warp Speed. But Trump says we'll handle that when discussing the possibility of DeSantis' presidential bid, according to Blaze Media. Last year, Trump referred to the governor as Ron DeSanctimonious and described him as an average Republican governor with great public relations. President Trump has certainly had his own fair share of criticism as well as heavy-handed treatment by the DOJ. It's in stark contrast to how the DOJ is treating President Biden. While Trump was raided by the FBI for his alleged mishandling of classified docs, the DOJ is permitting Biden's personal attorneys to search for classified documents without the FBI. The president's legal team has continued the search with no oversight, even after a special counsel was appointed. The excuse given is the voluntary turnover of the first set of documents discovered at the Penn Biden Center. What's not addressed is why Biden would have top secret documents from his days as vice president when he had no absolute power to declassify. like Trump did. And why were they held onto for years, shuffled around from place to place, and found in multiple locations? The whole "he's being transparent" excuse is obliterated when you consider the White House withheld the discovery from the public until after the midterms 2 months ago, and the Biden administration's total lack of cooperation with the House Oversight Committee. Speaking of corrupt Bidens, should Hunter Biden get Father of the Year? He's now petitioned the Arkansas court to stop his daughter from taking his last name, according to National File. He previously denied paternity of his 4-year-old daughter, Navy, a child he's never met, but a court order proved
you are the father.
Hunter Biden is already in the midst of a court battle to lower his child support payments to London Roberts, a former stripper and the 31-year-old mother of Navy. So here's today's takeaways. The epidemic of cause unknown continues to spread, but is largely ignored by the major networks. DeSantis continues to fight against vaccine mandates and for protecting physicians critical of the new jab. Biden's DOJ is increasingly brazen about the double standard applied to his classifieds collection, and the Biden family has not only ostracized their newest little member, but is actively trying to pull any kind of support of the little girl whatsoever. For the latest top headlines, be sure to go to AmericanFaith.com and subscribe to our daily newsletter. For American Faith, news you can trust, I'm Kristi Leigh.